many times you're going to get bar charts, you might get pie, line, graphs, and you also will get pictures in the speaking part of PTE. So how we should cover each picture is different. There's a different technique, and we're going to go through all of those. First of all, I'm going to talk about the bar chart. Here you have the vertical axis, the horizontal axis. These are key because this is going to be your first sentence. So here's how you start. First of all, of course, during the preparation time, you study the image. It's about the gross domestic product in the UK. Okay. Now, in your first sentence, you're going to talk about the vertical. It's going to sound like this. We can see in this chart the GDP expressed as a percentage over the years 1992 to 2000 between the IT and service industry. So we go vertical, horizontal, and whatever is in between. All right, that is your first sentence. It quickly summarizes the whole chart, gives you a great first impression, and now you can get into the actual meat and bones. I'm not sure if I mentioned this already. Please don't say general nonsense, okay? Don't say statements like, this is a great image. I love this image. It's a beautiful image. I've heard people say that. It is an absolute waste of your time because you want to talk about actual data here, all right? So now in your second sentence, you're going to talk about some trends or something extreme that is happening. For example, I can say that between 1992 to 2000, the trend is of continuous growth for both industries. I can also say that 2000 was the year where both percentages were at their peak, whereas 1992 was the complete opposite. These things I can notice right off the bat. I don't have to study it too much. It's just from the image. And you want to point out those extreme points. Sentences number 3 and 4 are going to talk about the actual data. So here you pick some interesting points and mention the numbers. So you can talk about how in 1996 we can see an almost moderate level for the changes where the IT industry sits at 8%, while the service sits at 7% approximately. This is going to be my sentence number 4. It is in stark contrast to in 2000 how the IT industry was sitting at 15%, whereas service was almost half of it. Okay, so here we talk about the numbers and trying to express them with as much of a range of vocab as you can. So I'm saying here that it was this much and then it was half of this. Now, when I was talking about 1996, I was using the words approximately. Then I would change it if I have to say something similar again. I would say not approximately, but I would say almost. All right. So changing up the range, keeping those lessons of vocabulary in mind, but also effectively defining the whole chart. You do not need a conclusion because 40 seconds is not enough. You can if you get a chance to do it, but essentially 4 sentences are good enough.